Hi everyone, welcome back to Acres of Clay. Today I'm going to be making homemade canned soup. So I have 3 different kinds. I have at least 3 different, actually I might have 4. No, I'll probably only work on 3 today. Today I am going to be making a roast beef vegetable soup. And then I'm going to be doing like a chicken noodle soup without the noodles. And then I have turkey soup that I'm not sure if I'll be like a turkey noodle soup also or a turkey vegetable. I haven't made up my mind yet on that one, but that's what I'm working at this morning. Well, today pretty much. It's a rainy day. I have pretty much everything chopped up and ready to go. So I have a bowl of celery I've got chopped up. I've got onions all ready to go. Carrots, and everything is from the garden. No, the carrots are not. I do have carrots from the garden, but those are not from the garden. And then I have some potatoes cut up from the garden. But the meat, I have to cut the meat up yet. This is a chuck roast that I'm going to be using. And so I'm just going to chop this up in pieces. And then we'll get going. I have my jars all washed and ready to go. And I'm going to show you how I do this. Alright, so this is my roast, and you're going to need a pretty good sharp knife. This was frozen, and I've already thawed it. The other day I took it out of the freezer and thawed it. And now I'm just making like bite-sized pieces. And try to keep as much of the fat out as possible. Just because it's going to separate and go to the top of the soup, which it's not a big deal, but. Okay, now I'm going to start filling the jars, and what I always start with is the meat. I don't do any measurements for this, but I know I want to do a whole canner. This is like a 3-pound chuck roast, so I have a couple more chuck roasts thawing that I may end up using. But just fill the bottom with the meat. And then I like to layer it. So the next thing will be potatoes. So just do handfuls of potatoes. I cut these all up yesterday thinking I was going to have time to can it yesterday, but I didn't get around to it. So they are a little bit discolored. But that doesn't matter. I can always add more later. Next thing is carrots. You can do this in any order, it doesn't matter either. And I think I got 3 pounds of carrots here, which I probably won't use all of them. And if you don't like carrots, you don't have to put them in. Okay, then I'll do onions next. Everything's just diced up in small pieces, just like if you were making your soups. And then some celery. And I use the celery stalk, and then I use some leaves also because they give off a good flavor. I'm going to press it down good. Okay, I'm going to add some more potatoes. There. Probably want to leave about 1 inch head space for this. This is what they look like so far. And then I'm going to you can add salt at this point. I don't add anything to this. I don't even add salt. I just add water. So you can add salt or pepper, but in this soup I'm not going to do anything. I'll season it once I take it out of the can and heat it up. That's when I tend to season things. So the next thing you do is just fill these up with water. I have tap water I have well water that's really good, and I'm just going to use warm well water. So I'm going to fill these up I do not have my canner heating on the stove. It's on the stove, and it has about 2 quarts of water in the bottom of it, but I don't have it heating at this moment because these are all, this is all cold. All the vegetables and the meat is cold. So if I put this in a boiling water canner that the water's already boiling, I increase my chances of the bottom cracking out or just completely breaking the jar, and that is no fun, and we don't want to do that. Okay, I have my first 7 quarts in the canner here, as you can see, and I just turned the heat on. I'm going to put the lid on, and then this is going to come up to temperature. Once you start seeing a lot of steam coming out of this vent pipe, then you set your timer for 10 minutes. And you let that vent for 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, I put my weight on, 10 pounds of weight for 90 minutes. So for quarts, it's going to be 90 minutes. And for pints, if you're doing pints, you can process those for 75 minutes. So anytime you're working with meat, whether it be cooked or raw, mine I'm doing all raw. Whoops. It doesn't matter, but it has to be processed for 90 minutes. So we're gonna let that go, get that up to heat, and see you back when it's done. Okay, the 90 minutes is up. It was up a while ago, but I was outside working, so now I'm gonna unload the canner and see how it turned out. I took the weight off of the top. I took the weight off the top a little bit ago, probably 10 minutes ago, and just let it rest, and now I'm just taking the lid off. Let's see what we got. Here it is, beef soup.
It stinks.
My kids always, maybe more Mackenzie and Sanders, they always complain when I take the lid off the canner. They just don't like the smell of the hot canner when I take it off. I like the smell. It looks like all 7 quarts have already
Sealed properly.
They did.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. Now I'm going to put 7 more in. Keep this thing going.
Okay.
I should put a little more water in it before I do that. Yeah. You don't want it to run out of water. That would be
bad.
No. Yeah, that would be really bad.
Really bad.
Okay, can you get off me? Today I woke up expecting to go out and mow hay. We have all of our third cut and grass fields are ready to be mowed, and I was gonna go out and mow today, but I woke up, went outside to do calf chores, and by the time I came in the house, it was starting to rain. So it's really cloudy and rainy today, so that changes my plans for the day. So what I'm gonna work on is canning some more soup. I'm gonna be canning some more beef vegetable soup, and then I'm also gonna can ham and bean soup. I have everything ready for putting the canned bean soup into jars. So I'm going to show you how I do this. First of all, I have navy beans that I have soaked for only a couple of hours. I put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in the water, and I just let them soak just for a little bit, not overnight. So they are just a little bit spongy. They have swollen a little bit, but they're not completely dry. I washed them and sorted them also, so these are ready to go. So I'm gonna start by putting about 1 cup of beans in the jar, just like this, okay? And then I have carrots, I have celery, I have onions, and I have some diced up ham. So I like to just put maybe a handful of each. I don't measure this part, but you don't want to overfill the jars either. So probably like a tablespoon of celery, tablespoon of onion, maybe a couple tablespoons of the carrots, and then a handful of diced ham. Maybe 3 tablespoons of diced ham. So this is what it's gonna look like. Okay, I'm gonna finish filling all 7 jars. So I have 4 pounds of navy beans that I'm gonna be canning. So we'll see how far that goes. I should be using measurements probably. Okay, at this point you can fill it with warm water, or what I'm going to do is add just a little bit of smoked salt. So this is called hickory smoked salt, and I'm just going to maybe put 1/4 of a teaspoon in each one. You can probably do up to a teaspoon, but I don't want it to be too salty. I always like to season it after I've canned it, when I go to use it actually. So I'm just going to put a little bit in. It's going to give it a little bit of a smoky flavor and help with that. Alright, now what I'm going to do is put some lukewarm tap water in it, and then I'll get the lids on. Okay, now I'm just going to wipe the rims, and I left 1-inch head space so that it has plenty of room, so it doesn't spill out all over. Don't forget to check for any cracks that may be in the rims. You do not want a rim to be cracked because your seal won't hold, or your lid won't seal at all.
Well, at least it'll be cooked and you can just eat it.
Yep. Just put the rings on fingertip tight. Okay, these are ready to go into the canner. Okay, we're going to give it 10 minutes. We're going to let this start venting for 10 minutes. And then once it has vented for 10 minutes, we'll put 10 pounds of weight on it.
That's 4 minutes.
Okay, the jiggler has just started jiggling. I got 10-pound pressure on it. And I now set my timer for 90 minutes or an hour and a half, because I'm doing quarts. If you're doing pint-sized jars, then it's 75 minutes. So I'll bring you back when I take them out. Okay, it's been an hour and a half of time, or an hour and a half of processing. Then I let it cool down to 0 and just let it set for a little bit. And now I'm ready to pull them out. Let's see what they look like. Here we go. You see that? It's still pretty hot. But I gotta get another batch going. So these beans are fully cooked beans. Everything is fully cooked, and all you have to do is reheat it. Like, put it in a saucepan and heat it up. At least that's how I do it. I'm sure you could microwave it too. I'm finished with canning for today. So I've gotten 14 quarts of the bean and ham soup. You can kind of see that. This I just took out, so it's still pretty warm. This one here was done earlier today. And then I had, let's see, what else did I? This is like what is this one? This one's turkey. I have turkey vegetable, and I have chicken. This is the beef stew. I have like chicken noodle. And here's some more beef. I have some more beef thawing, so I'm gonna try to do 14 more quarts of beef stew tomorrow if I have time, but I'm getting a good start on my soups. So thanks for watching, everyone. If you guys can soup, let me know what kinds you can. I'm always interested in learning new recipes for canning, so let me know in the comments below. Thanks all for watching. Hope you're having a very blessed day. We'll catch you on the next video. Bye. I took the weight off the top.
This is called a cup. I get cups.